Hello and welcome to VChess. My name is Naiditsch. I am a chess grandmaster and we are proceeding with our educational streams. Let's go with the next 10-minute rapid games. I will be commenting on the game, openings, middle game, end games. We have everything here. So, join us. First to say hello in the chat today is Grand Miner, and how fast was Grand Miner today? This is unbelievable. Grand Miner, you are so fast. Probably in bullet chess you should be extremely good. Second to say hello is Isaac. Hello, and HDBM. HDBM is also here with us. We have Max also here, and Chessalem. Welcome everyone. So we have here a try to play the Catalan. We can answer with the move c5, we can answer with the move bishop on b4, and we can answer with the move d5. Everything is possible here. Let's go with the move bishop on b4 just to play something else, because we had a lot of games on the move d5. Now we're gonna play this line with the move c5. So it is like a Bogolubov, but now we have the g3 already on the board. Let's go. How are you doing on Monday? Monday, usually a busy day, first day of the week, but actually not for chess players. For chess players, very often Monday is actually a rest day, because you are playing in most of the cases over the weekend, and Monday is very often a day of travel. You've been playing somewhere, the tournament has ended, or your participation came to an end, so Monday you are traveling home. Let's proceed here with our game. Everything is very normal. Knight on c6. We would like to take on d4, and we try to provoke him into taking b4 with the idea now to take c takes b4. It looks weird, I have to agree to that, but it's not bad at all. For the moment, the pawn on b4 is preventing the knight to get to good squares, c3 or a3. We have the move b3. This is very unusual play. I think it's not a good play, because usually white is aiming for the a3 to get the rook into the game. Now we have b3, and yeah, the idea of b3 is very questionable. We play the move e5, so we try to be very strong here on the dark squares. Solomon is here with us. Martin, welcome. PUBG also very active lately. PUBG saying no weekends. PUBG saying I have no weekend at chess. Yes, chess has no weekends. This is correct. We have the move e3 on the board. Now we can think even to play this move e4, because where does the knight go? In case knight gets to d2, it's blocking the own knight on b1. So not looking bad. I think our opponent is playing pretty quick, so we have to be a little bit quicker in the next couple of moves. I can go with the move, I think bishop g4, not bad at all, and I can just go with this e4 rook e8 idea, also not bad at all. So, what should we choose to play? I think this kind of development of the bishop is usually a good idea, so let's get the bishop out. And then we see next what we are going to play. Maybe we can provoke the guy into playing the move h3, and then we go just bishop f5, because we get this queen on d7 with a tempo later. To play the move g4 I think is pretty risky, so I don't expect him to play the move g4. We are doing well in the center, which is great. Next, simple move rook e8. Next, maybe h6 to keep the bishop on the long diagonal just in case. And we see what happens next, because the idea of white currently is basically invisible here. By playing this b3, which is not the best, because it is not helping white. In case he would like to put the knight on d2, how b3 is helping in case he would like to go a3. Again, the move b3 is not helping. Here we can put the knight on e7, or we're gonna do something else. We're gonna put the knight on b8. It looks a bit weird, but you will see what is the idea of knight on b8. The idea is to place the move a5, then we get knight a6, and the knight is getting to c5. What a beautiful square for the knight on c5. Knight on d2. I think our opponent for the moment is not understanding what we will be playing next. So let's go with the move a5. I think he's a little bit surprised, probably. Maybe he's aiming to play the move e4, which is possible, but I don't know how good it is. Let's get the knight on a6. I think it is surprising for our opponent. I think he did not expect that the knight is getting to c5. In these positions, we can just move back completely because we would like to go knight d7, knight on c5, or we can put the bishop to d7, wait a little bit, then put the knight on c5. We have also ideas to play the move a4, so we can act in different ways. Also, bishop now g6 might be not bad. We have to be careful with the move f4, but the rest is good. So maybe I will play bishop on g6. It's unusual. Mostly we should keep the bishop on the long diagonal, but my idea is knight on d7. And in case of this f4, we have always f6 or f5, because we have the bishop now on g6. So f4 is not that dangerous currently. This is why I tried to play with a bishop on g6. Otherwise, obviously, I would not do that. It would be not a good idea, but now I think we are completely fine. The idea is to get the knight on c5. And then we see what we are going to play next. We have the move h4. Not a bad play by our opponent. He's getting the bishop out, plus he would like to play the move h5. So sort of double attack. I think we should just proceed with the move h6 now. This move h5, we're gonna go back. This is okay, because we're aiming for f5 eventually in the future. Welcome everyone to the chat. We have I Play Chess Live also here with us. Yes, let me read for a second. Why change a center pawn for a side pawn? Question by Hadi. This is controversial. Yes, it is, Hadi, I have to admit, but as you can see, our idea was to block the knight on b1. So sometimes we have this kind of exceptions, because it is obviously an exception. This is not something that we do every time. And as you can see now on the board, we are trying to make our idea work. It means we get this beautiful knight now on c5, the knight on d2 is pretty poorly placed. This has been our idea of this c takes b4. Yes, it is controversial, I have to admit that. But sometimes we have this kind of exceptions, and as you can see, we're starting now very strong play here on the a file. The knight on d2, poorly positioned, because the knight attacks nothing except defending the pawn on e4. The bishop is now a little bit out, but still the bishop is not the best. Our bishop might get better during the next couple of moves. This idea of playing f4 is usually not dangerous. We might just take on f4 and things are fine, especially now that we have a4 on the board. As you can see, this pressure here on the a file is going to be huge. We can keep the queen on e7, just controlling here, or we're gonna play the more aggressive way to keep, for example, queen a5, trying to win control over the a file. We can also take now on b3. I like this. It's not a must play, but it is a can play. So maybe first I will be activating the queen by playing queen on b6, because it feels good. Now we win tempo. And my idea was now that we get this AB in a good moment, but we have to decide what is a good moment. Queen on f2, is this kind of pin dangerous to us? Not really. We can take and play the move rook a3, so this is what I wanted to do initially. Knight on b3 could be played. We are doing better after knight on b3, but it could be played, so we have no rush here. Let's go first with a move for rook a6. We are getting the rook on a8. We had also the idea of pushing f5, but I think we don't need to play on both sides. There is no need for that. In best case, we get an endgame, then we control the a file, and endgame plus control over the a file. This should be giving black big advantage here. Endgame we can get with moves like knight on d3, forcing endgame. So white is already in positional trouble, because in case we control the only open file, these are quite bad news for our opponent, because only file on the board. Ooh, the guy takes. If this is a good idea, I have my doubts about it, because how to defend the pawn on a2 next? I think we can just take, no? With a knight, because why not? Why not to take with a knight? We can also first play the move for rook a8, which is also looking very, very decent. So, now we have to decide what is the best way to proceed in the current position. We have this bishop theoretically quite well positioned. We have to be careful, but obviously black is doing very well here. I think we can take with a rook as well. I don't know why not to take with a rook actually, because then we get this rook a8 idea and that's it. So I think we can take with a rook. I don't see a defense against rook a8. In case we get this rook to a8, this is looking like there is really not easy for white to defend the pawn on a2. So we are getting the rook now. In case of taking, there is d pawn, which theoretically is a strong pawn, but in practical play we are just in time, for example, to stop the pawn with our king. So it is not dangerous. Next should be exchange of queens. We can play the move queen a7. It's looking very nice to play queen a7 because it gives us always this option of changing the queens. He's trying to defend the a file, but I think it's very hard, so let's go with the move queen on a7. More pressure, save queen. I think there's no way already to defend the pawn on a2, so we are fulfilling our strategy of step by step being active on the a file and to win the pawn on a2. Next, endgame or no endgame. As we said, endgame is very good, so we should again continue just with our strategy, step by step, getting where we would like with our play. I think he has to go for endgame. No, he gives me the pawn on c4. I don't know. I don't know if this is a good idea to give a pawn, because I think we can just take the pawn. Usually with white, to give a pawn for free, well, we will be here having this kind of great position now. Attacking, we can still go for the endgame in case we would like to go for the endgame. And maybe it's a bit too early to go for this endgame because there is no reason for it currently. Maybe we can go queen a6 or a queen on here d3, but there is some kind of bishop f1 idea somewhere just to return. I think queen a6 is looking like the best decision. We would like to play the move b3. We are continuing making pressure. We are continuing aiming for queen on a7, bishop on d7. Alright, but let's move just here. b3 still coming next. We should try to activate our bishop from g6 somewhere. Bishop takes e4 might be possible. I think now b3 looks like a good idea, but let's double check if it is a good idea. I think it is. So let's play the move b3. Slowly, slowly, slowly we are advancing and we are step by step doing better and better. This pressure on the a file from the very early beginning is bringing now some advantages to black. We're executing our strategy step by step. So let me read the chat for a second. In case you have some questions, please do ask them in the chat. Don't be shy. We have a very good chat. Sometimes I'm not able to see your questions because it's difficult to play, to comment, to calculate, because chess is very tricky. One wrong move and the game might be over. So, in case you have some questions, always just ask them in the chat. We have many good people who are able to answer you most of your questions. g4, the idea is to play the move h5, probably. We have different ways, by the way, to win the current position. I think we can just simply take. Looks like a win. It is looking like a win by force. This is why I'm going to play the move, because I don't see a defense. It's not a must play again, but I just cannot recognize what is a defense here for white. So obviously, in case we can win the game by force, we're going for it. Now my idea was to take here, and I don't see how to fight in this position for white. Now we just play this queen a1 check. As you can see, now we are winning. The next, I'm gonna push the F button. Think for yourself. Black to play, black is winning. Boom. Once you see the boom, it means we have a winning combination here. I give you a little bit of time. What is a winning combination here for black? Please write your answers in the chat. We have two different moves which are immediately winning. One maybe a little bit more beautiful than the other, but the idea is the same. So, black to play, black wins. I'm gonna play the move within 10 seconds, not to go very long on time. A little combination. And the answer is to take queen takes b2. So we are sacrificing our queen because we have this rook a2 coming next. Our opponent resigns, and yes, we are winning the game. So let's go with the next game. I'm offering a rematch. It's always fair, I think, to play two games. Yes, we have the rematch. Let's go with the move e4. So all in all, I think quite positional game that we have won. I think step by step we had a strategy that we managed to execute, so I think we could be happy with our result. So we have now the Caro-Kann with knight f3, knight takes d4. All is here still theory. There are many ways to proceed here for white and for black. Let's go with the move c4. There's this tricky move c4 here. It's one of the main moves. And yes, there are many cool things after c4. By the way, thank you very much for the comments. And I see I play chess with our emojis, with a panda, chess panda. Yes, I play chess. Excellent. Good emojis. Our opponent is taking on e5. This is so dangerous. I think we can just take now on d5 and take a look at the development of black. It might be that there will be trouble coming for black in the current position. How to get out with the bishop? He takes on d5. Oof. This is looking way too dangerous. Knight is attacking the queen. The development of white should be giving white here much better play. We have this kind of bishop f4, bishop on b5 ideas, knight on b5 idea. Wow. I think it should end in a checkmate by the feeling, but let's see if my feeling is correct, because sometimes we have this feeling that it is a checkmate, but then we cannot find the checkmate. So, how to checkmate black? Because black has zero development in the current position. We might try something like bishop f4, I think is looking great, because we have knight on b5, knight, bishop d7, or we have this queen a4 check in the right moment. Let me think. When should we do that? How to make it work? We should be able to almost win, I think, the current game, because it feels so bad with zero development for black in the current position. I don't believe it is the right way to play here. So we should be able to punish our opponent for this kind of play. Yes, we can go bishop f4 and just go there. This is for sure better for white, but it feels like we should be able to find some winning idea. Maybe just to play bishop here. The bishop goes there, queen on e2, some normal play. Also looks like a great position for white. I don't know, by the feeling this is just the right way to play here. Bishop f4, I don't know. I feel like not to play bishop f4 would be a mistake. Feels so good to put the bishop on f4. So many threats here to the position of black. And now we have this beautiful knight on b5, a little bit risky. Take, and we have this queen on a4. So we threat the checkmate. We're attacking the knight on f4 simultaneously. Is it already a win? Yes, no. I don't know. I don't know if this is a win. This is a little bit difficult to say here. So, what should we do next? This simple move, bishop g3, is giving us a big advantage, but it feels so tempting to go with this beautiful knight on b5. Take queen a4, the knight is under attack. There is maybe only the move e5 that can be played. We have this double check on c7. King goes to e7. Is it a checkmate? We have as well this move rook on d1 somewhere. Is it a checkmate? Yes, no. Difficult to say. Difficult to say because it feels like a checkmate, but I'm not 100% sure. This is the issue. Let me double check everything again. I think we're gonna have a good play in any case, so I think it's not like super dangerous to play it. That's why maybe let's play this kind of beautiful idea, knight on b5, a little bit crazy, this bishop g3. I think it's just giving us excellent play with white, but we can try to go a little bit crazy here. And is it worse? I don't know. Should we go crazy? Or should we just play the solid approach? I don't know. Both is looking good. Both is looking very good, so let's double check the last time before playing our next move. I think I should go maybe even here, just to be like very safe. This is gonna be just much better position for white, so yeah, I will go just bishop e3. This is looking like a much better position for white. No reason to go crazy, but let me know your opinion in the chat. Would you go crazy with this knight on b5, or would you play this bishop on e3? And bishop e3 is giving us clearly better play with the white pieces, so maybe matter of taste. Now we go with the move knight on b5 next. Obviously, if black is taking on d1, this is a very bad position for black. Next, we would like to go knight on d5, putting enormous pressure. Pawn on a7 is under attack, so in case we would like to take the pawn, we can do it anytime. We have ideas of putting the queen somewhere and to continue with a long castle. So many good ideas here for white. This position is looking extremely risky for black. I think to survive here is not an easy task, and with surviving I mean just the next couple of moves, because how not to lose something? Is there a way to avoid losing any kind of material during the next couple of moves? Let's see. So we have in the chat some people would go for the crazy sacrifice as well. I think it depends a little bit. In most of the cases, it would be great to control the game. So, it depends. This is the thing. I see Bean is as well with us today. Excellent. We have a funny name of one of our participants is Someone is Gaming. Someone is Gaming is saying go crazy. Well, maybe I should have gone crazy, but you never know with this crazy approaches because they can backfire. Imagine you're doing so well, you go crazy, and then you're gonna just lose. So this would be a very upsetting situation. Now currently, how to defend this position for black? We would like just to take the queen and it is game over because we're gonna long castle next. Very difficult for black to find something what to do against the idea of taking on d8. Maybe there is some kind of bishop on c6 idea, but after the move bishop c6 we have two ways of playing. We have the move knight on d5, beautiful knight in the center, and we have also queen on d5, attacking immediately the pawn on b7. So there is only bishop c6, we're gonna take on d8, the rook is taking on d8, and we have again many moves. For example, we're gonna take the pawn, we would like to take the bishop, so this endgame is just much better. Thank you very much for the support from Gorilla666. The question is, are arena titles good? What should I tell you? It's not real. It's not a real title. This title been completely invented by FIDE, I think you mean the FIDE Arena, to sell you diplomas. So now you see a lot of players who are, let's say, around 2000 elo there with Arena GM. I think personally I would never have done it to the GM title, because GM title is the highest title you can achieve in a chess game. And now to give GM title to someone that is 2000 ELO, I think it is not fair to the other GMs, because many people, they don't know what means a GM. So they think it is a GM, but obviously it is not. So I think it depends very much. If you take it serious, if you take it for fun, yes, you can get the title on Arena GM, but people usually don't take you very seriously. Some people do because they just don't know that this has nothing to do with a real title. So I think it's up to you. From my point of view, I think GM title should not be humiliated like that, like an example. So in my opinion, I obviously would be against this kind of titles, but I am a chess GM, so for me it's a different perspective. I feel just very sad for the GM title. How can a player of 2000 ELO have GM title? I think it is not fair, because it takes everyone 10 years of hard work to get to the GM title, and now they're distributing the titles like nothing. I don't know. For me, this is of course not the best. So we have queen getting to a5. Is it possible now to punish the guy by playing this queen on d5 immediately, because we would like to win the queen? Not a bad idea. We have also this kind of a3 b4 idea. We have the move knight here, queen, was exchange, and then we have this knight c7, which I have no idea how to defend from that with the black pieces, but I think we should get active. Active is usually the right approach, because we are pushing, we have the right development for that. So let's get very active with the move queen on d5. We have knight on d6 idea, beautiful idea. We have the idea of long castle and just go straight for the king of our opponent. Queen on d5, also bishop c4, so many ideas. And this is the trouble that you can get when you're so greedy in the beginning of the game. Our opponent, he took the pawn. And now look at the pieces of black here. All are at the starting positions, and look at the white pieces, so active. Now we will get our king in relative safety. We can get the bishop out. I think black might be in trouble already just on move 12. Gorilla66 again, thank you for the support. Next question. I know the difference, just since I'm like 16, it's more practical till I can actually do over the board. But in terms, aren't you also still working for it? But in terms, RNT, what does it mean, aren't you still working for it? No, I never worked for FIDE anything, so no, I'm not involved in all the things, no way. So if you are 16, I don't know, if you want to be practical, maybe, but again, you have to take the decision for yourself. I don't think it is a serious title, so I don't know, it's like you have the option of cheat a little bit on the system. It depends. Again, I think in case you're 16, in case you are ambitious, in case you're working on chess, you will be very soon, probably 2-3 years, FIDE master. You have the real title, and this kind of arena stuff, I don't know. It's I can tell you only my opinion. I think some fake titles is not very big privilege. So this is just my opinion. Let's continue with our game. We have the long castle, because the guy just went back with the queen. He gave us a free tempo, and I think black probably is going to resign very soon. By the way, let us know in the chat what's your opinion about this FIDE arena titles. Probably some of you have them. What is your opinion on that? Don't you think it is just a cheat on the GM title, on the real titles? That now you can be just, let's say, 2000 ELO player, and you have the GM title, which is by the FIDE, because FIDE Arena is FIDE. So I think, I don't know, regarding my opinion, I don't like titles like that. Number one, Number 2, you don't know who is really cheating there, because we see that there are many issues already on big platforms like Lichess. This is, for example, terrible to play Rapid, almost impossible. Here on chess.com we are also facing some people that are very doubtful. Many guys got blocked playing us. FIDE Arena has much weaker detection of cheating than Lichess or chess.com. So how fair is the game you're playing? I don't know. You have to make the decision for yourself. In case you need the title for something, maybe, but otherwise I think it's just a fake title. So I don't know what else can I say about it. You have to decide it for yourself, Gorilla. But again, thank you very much for your support here. Is the game already over? Is it over? 13 moves so far been played. Bishop on e7. Our opponent is trying to hold on, using the last chances, but is it gonna work? I think not, because we have an easy winning continuation here with the white pieces. So I'm pushing the F because we have a direct win. We have even a couple of wins. So I let you think. Boom. Once you see the boom, there is something that white can do here to win the game. We have different options. Try to think for yourself. What would you play here? And suggest your ideas in the chat, please. So, just think about, there is something direct. I think after the next move, our opponent is just going to resign. I'm gonna play it very, very soon. We have many different options to be much better, but we have one way, I think, after which it is straight resignation. What would be your next move here with the white pieces? Next move, game over. So I'm gonna play the next move because the time is running down, so I cannot think so much, and it is the move queen c4 in my opinion. We are attacking the queen and we would like to play knight on c7 check and take the rook on e8, so we are winning either rook or queen, and this is usually just a straight resignation. Queen on c4. Yes, we had bishop c4, also very, very good play. We had queen takes d8, also winning, but here somehow it is straight win. So I like when it's like simple and straightforward, because it's like a guarantee that you are winning. We have the move bishop on d7 been played. Okay, let's give this little check here. And next we can take the rook, because the bishop is under attack by our rook. So it is just a rook more. I think our opponent will resign now, because he's a fair player, at least from the previous game, what we can judge. He just resigned once he had no more chances. There are not so many chances left in the current position. We're just a rook up. So it was a practical decision to win some material. And time-wise, we have a little bit more time than our opponent. Yes, he is resigning. So it was a very fair game. He's offering us one more rematch. Okay, let's play the last game against our opponent here. It's a fair player. He's not playing lost positions. So let's go with the next game. Let's play now the King's Indian. I hope you're enjoying my comments so far. In case you do, push the like and subscribe button not to miss the streams, and like because you are enjoying. We have the King's Indian defense with bishop on e2, and now let's see if we see the move knight f3. So this is gonna be the main King's Indian. Bishop e3 is not the main, but also very popular line. Knight on a6. Idea is to keep flexible, so we have e5 and c5 depending on the next move of our opponent. We have the move h3 on the board. We can proceed with e5 and with c5. Both is completely playable here. Also, there's a move c6, which is not bad at all, by the way. So, which line should we choose to play here? I like the move, I don't know. I like the c6 ideas, but they're like a little bit unusual, I would say, because it's not the main, but it is okay. Knight f3, e5. Now we have just a different move order, which leads us to the King's Indian with the move knight on f3, which is a normal King's Indian for both white and black. The idea of black is to take, you will see. During the next couple of moves, the idea will be very visible here with the black pieces. I can tell you in advance what is the idea, and it is to make pressure here on the e file against the pawn on e4. Bishop takes, unusual. usually knight takes is the right way to continue here for white. So we put the pressure on the e4 pawn, and the question is how to defend the pawn. To give the bishop, this thing you never do in a King's Indian, so to give the bishop is not a solution. Now bishop on d3, possible solution, but the problem is I think that there is somewhere the move knight on c5, and we will be attacking bishop and the pawn. Let's think about knight on c5. Is there something like e5 immediately available to white? I think maybe we have to be very cautious. We can go back. Knight d7, he's gonna take, I'm gonna take knight e5. So this is okay for black. We have as well different options in the current position except move knight on c5. We can also play the move knight c7, knight e6, attacking the bishop, winning a tempo. Bishop has to go back. It looks as well quite okay, but I like the move knight on c5, so I think to be aggressive is the right thing in case we're playing King's Indian defense. By the way, I never know why it is called defense. It should be called King's Indian attack. We have to get aggressive. Now we have bishop takes c5. This is an important thing. Never give up on the bishop on d4. Never do that. Now black is having a beautiful position here, because we have this monster on g7, and there's nothing for our opponent. Let me read very briefly what we have in the chat. Sorry, I cannot see your questions in case they are not marked, so it's a bit difficult to see. I have to play and comment. So let me check. Why Magnus wins every time. Chess is a game where Magnus wins every time. What to do? He is too strong. He is winning every time because he is the best. What? I don't know. What else can we add to that? Knight h5. Let's get our knight on f4. Magnus is a beast. I think, at least to me, he is the strongest chess player ever. He's way stronger than, for example, Kasparov, who was absolutely dominating his age. Of course, Kasparov is a fantastic player, no questions. There are many great players. Vishy Anand, some say Bobby Fischer is the best, some say Spassky is maybe the best. But Magnus Carlsen, the level of his play is unbelievable. If someone would say that there will be a player like Magnus Carlsen, nobody would believe you. People would say this is not possible to play over long distance on the level of Magnus Carlsen, but yes, he is proving again and again that it's like he's not a human. He plays a level that is unreachable for anyone else. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's like Usain Bolt in 100 meters, or like you are untouchable by anyone. Knight on e2. He's blocking our idea on knight at f4, but now we can just improve the position of our queen. By the way, we can go queen b6, little attack here on the pawn on b2. But I think we might also aim for, I don't know, should I play the move queen c7? It feels good because we have this knight f4 change, and then we have the bishop pair. So it's going to be a very slow game, quite comfortable for black in most of the cases. So where to put the queen? This is our question. Oh, I like the move queen on c7. I don't know why. Maybe it's just my feeling that tells me I should put the queen here. Next, I would like to change my knight on f4, and then let's see what happens next. Let me read the chat. So yeah, of course, many world champions, different eras. We should not compare them. Still, somehow the level of Magnus Carlsen, at least to me, seems to be absolutely unreachable for the others. So this is just my opinion. Maybe somebody else has a different one, and this is normal. So we have the move knight on f4 next. I think it's time to get the knight to a good position. So let's go. Let's go. There is a question by I Play Chess Live. How many times I played with Magnus? We played a lot of games with Magnus. I don't know how many because we played a lot of games. I managed to beat Magnus twice in classical chess. Of course, I was very, very happy after winning the game. But it is not like I'm better than Magnus. Of course, I'm not. I think everyone, time to time, is losing as well the greatest, like Magnus Carlsen, so I was very happy to win the game, but I fully understand that, yes, Magnus is better than me, there is no doubt about it. But sometimes, in case we are fighting, we can win some games. So, it was good moment to win against Magnus, but I have beat a lot of world champions because no one is like unbeatable. So let's say with Kramnik we played many games, and believe me, Kramnik in his good shape, he was a beast. I mean, he was so good, Kramnik, when he was in good shape. Really, I mean, like spectacularly good chess player. I won, I think, 3 games in classical chess against him. Maybe I don't remember exactly, something like that. So Topalov was unbelievably strong. Topalov, when he was in good shape, he played so well. Of course, Vishy Anand was phenomenal. Also with Vishy, I played a lot of games, so it's always a fight. Chess is always a fight. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but on average, of course, you are not doing too well against the best players of the world. There is no doubt. I have been not a bad chess player, but to compete with the absolute best, this was too difficult for me. This is very hard. So let's go back to the current game. What do we have? We have this endgame where we have the bishop pair, and those of you who are here more often on the channel, I think you know how much I like this bishop pair stuff, because we will be playing a long game here where bishop pair might play a decisive role. Step by step, the bishops will be controlling the board. And maybe let's start with the move f5 first. So we open a little bit the position. In case we have the bishop pair, we would like to open the game. As more space for the bishops, as better. On the other hand, we should not give knight some kind of solid place to stay. Now after e5, we control here everything. This is of course great. The knight cannot be really moved, so our next stage of the game should be to open here. This is idea number 1. Idea number 2 is just to be very good on the d file, which is, I think, very logical. So let's think. I think I like the move a5 because it's a very useful continuation. We would like to play the move a4, and in case white is playing a4 themselves, then we will be aiming for this extremely strong move b5. It looks shocking to play the move b5, but you will see it is so powerful because the bishop will be attacking the pawn on b3 next. So yeah. The question in the chat that I see, do you remember all the GMs you have played? No, of course not. I played, I don't know, 1,000 GMs in my life. How to remember them all? I don't have that kind of memory, and also I'm getting older. I am already 40. When you're a young boy, you have this kind of excellent memory. Then you're getting a little older, and the memory starts to fail you sometimes, but this is normal. This is normal. So we continue with the move a4 to get some kind of extra play. We keep the idea b5 in mind. You see how well the bishops are basically controlling all of the board. Excellent control by the bishops. We can already get the rook to a3. Not so pleasant. We can play the move b5. Also, this is not looking pleasant for white. The question is, what should we do next? The easy take b5, and then a little bit more complex move b5. I think b5 first is looking like a good move, but let's double check. Because we can also just get the king first to e7, such a domination of the black pieces. Everything is looking that it is just much better. I think let's get the king first. Maybe the idea for white is this h4, knight g5, and then try to escape. But also, this position, I think, is not easy. So, what should we do here? I think I will get my king first to e7. I like it when everything is so well under control. We keep the idea b5 in mind. We keep the idea ab just in case. There is no reason for us to do something that is even a little bit of risky, because we're dominating the game so well. Step by step, we should be patient. Patience is a quality that a chess player should have, that we play here step by step, getting slowly into a better position. So we take here. I'm interested. Oh, bishop takes. This is not looking like a great decision, because now b5 at some moment, and it will be just over at the moment rook d6 is possible. So we play first the move king on e7 just to be safe. We have b5 incoming, and he's not doing anything about it, but I don't know what he could have done about it. We play the move b5. White is on the limit in my opinion. Look at this bishop controlling everything. In case white takes, we have the move c4 in between move. Very dangerous position now for our opponent. Maybe there's still some fight, but slowly we are outplaying. Also to take, I don't know why not to take first, by the way, because this c4, the knight might get to d4. Still, of course, much better for black, but a little bit of fighting. But maybe I should play it. I don't know what is better, because both is looking like complete win. Let's go with the move c4 to keep the bishop pair. Seems to be the right idea. I like this bishop pair stuff. Maybe sometimes I'm a little bit too much obsessed with the bishop pair in the endgame, but it gives usually such a big advantage that it is too tempting. It is just too tempting to have the bishop pair and to push for free. The bishops are controlling the full board, so it feels so good. It feels so good. Bishop on c2. No, we're gonna take here on b5. Let's see. Bishop on b1. I think we have the move c3. No, just pushing forward. Is it working? I think so. We have the move bishop c4 check next. So step by step we are advancing currently very well. Knight on d4. I think we have the option of giving here the check on c4, and is it not just a game over? Because how to stop the pawn now from promotion here? I think we can just take. Or maybe we have a little combination here. Let's finish the game in style. Eventually it is rook on d8, but then there is a check. No, this we should not do. So there's anyway a check on c6. How to win the game in the best way in the current position. Let me calculate just a little bit, not to make a mistake, because there are checks coming. I don't like these checks. Let's go with the move rook c8 just to give zero chance to our opponent. Maybe we should have gone bishop on d2, but I still have the option of bishop d2, so there is no reason to play it instantly. We can play it a bit later. I think this position should be a clear win for black. I think he's going to take because there is nothing better, but maybe even we should take with the pawn, by the way. Yeah, to take with the pawn, so powerful. I will be taking there with the pawn. You will see why this is better than to take with a rook. This is just more easy because I think there is no way to stop the c2 next. Or we get this rook b8, or we get this rook a8 next. And I think bishop on d2 and followed by c2 is just unstoppable. We could have taken with the rook, obviously, much better position for black, yes. But I think this is just a straight win because I don't see a defense. So we are playing the move bishop on d2 as we planned. Next we're gonna play the move rook e8, and it is game over in my opinion. Also we can play the move rook d8, by the way, check, we go here, and then we play the move c2, which is also winning. The only issue is here little time on the clock, so we have to rush. Let me calculate for a second that we are 100% sure. It is a win, no? It is a straight win, so we go here. We are attacking the knight, but somehow I played not so well. We could have won the game way earlier and way better. So, very little time on the clock. Now we will be taking the pawn next. Let's advance. Let's advance. The king is getting there. We are still having a winning position, but I am not playing great. I have to say that. This is not a great play. We are still winning. This is a good thing. The bad thing, little time on the clock. So let's go here. He's going to take most probably. We go here. The pawn is rolling. It is a game over, but so little time on the clock. This is the issue. Next we will be just taking the pawn or playing king on g2, depending on the next move of our opponent. Maybe take the pawn is more... What is that? I'm so slow when it comes to seconds. I'm so slow to see these tricks. Now, let's go. So, is it game over or not yet? Not yet. This is bad. This is bad because the time is running out here. We are completely winning, but we have no time. Will I be fast enough to finish the game? Let's see. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Oh, where to put the rook? Where to put the rook? I was not sure. This is terrible move again, what I did. And I don't know if we can win the game. So, I think the best we can do is just a perpetual check, because I have no time. No time left. Yeah, this is pity because position is completely winning, but I played so bad. Such a bad execution of the winning position. Ay. Played too slow. Too many explanations. And then we are not winning a completely winning game, yeah. What to do. This is what is happening when we are playing too slow. Talk too much, play too little. Alright, in any case, like and subscribe to our channel VChess. So, let's see what kind of questions we have from the chat. We have a question. I remember hearing that nowadays in the candidates there is a lot of 20 or 30 minute thinking about one move because they are using computers too much. It has nothing to do with computer. So this is not because of the computers. This is because the position is sometimes just complex. The next question is, what do you think about Yagis? The Turkish young talent. Of course, he is very strong, but I think it is too early to decide that if he is the next Magnus Carlsen, because just too early to judge. Alright, for the moment, let's do a couple of moves. We have queen on b6, a little bit strange move, but okay, let's go with the move a4, maybe knight a3, what also possible. I don't know what is the idea of queen on b6. Maybe to defend the knight, but queen is now not in the best shape. We can go even for a bishop takes c6. Looks like slightly better, but we can also go away with the bishop and be slightly better. Maybe let's go away. The queen on b6, really not so well positioned. So we can play this kind of simple moves and eventually be a little better. Queen goes back, so yeah, it is like a tempo more. Now we get this d4 next and we try to be better. There is another question. This might be a broad question, but I'm around 2000 rated, but haven't studied seriously in 2 years. How should I come back to serious chess? How many hours of studying? You have inspired me. Okay, thank you very much for the nice words, first of all. And secondary, I would always advise to start with tactics. So, tactics is number one. You start with tactics, you advance from there. So in case you have, I don't know, 30 minutes daily time, do some tactics. And this would be a good start just of coming back. So yeah. And from the tactics, obviously, you advance to the next levels. It is positional play, endgame play, but tactics are the basics. It's a good start to play the tactics, and then you see what happens after the tactics. But you start with the tactics. Now, what do we have here? In the current position, White is doing just slightly better in my opinion, because we have knight on c3, we are getting eventually the pawn on d5, we have queen on b3, attacking again the pawn on d5, we have ideas like bishop on g5, changing this bishop on c1 against c7 is looking very useful. Black is trying to defend the pawn on d5 in the ways, in every way possible. We can now play several different good options. I think bishop g5 is looking so nice, because we're changing the bishop. It is very, very important. The bishop on c8 completely out of the game, and it's going to be difficult for black to get the bishop back. Welcome everyone to the chat. Welcome, welcome. I hope you are enjoying my stream so far. I think we're playing quite interesting games in the last game. Yes, we missed many different wins because of the time trouble. I should have spoken less and played better. Next, we are currently here with a better position. Still, it's a big game. I like this move. Maybe, okay, should we give a checkmate maybe immediately, or should we play something positional? This is the question. I think we might go for a direct checkmate, and you will see it's a very beautiful checkmate. So, I think I'm gonna start with the move queen on d2. So we are going now to checkmate our opponent. You will see. It's gonna be very nice in case it works. And after d6, this was my idea. Now I think we have a beautiful checkmate attacking idea. It is, of course, not very needed. We are doing very well, but we have this kind of beautiful checkmate idea, so we cannot miss on that. And it is to play bishop on f6. Look at that. Very beautiful move, because all the black pieces are on the queen side. We're doing way better in development, and the king is alone. King is alone on g8. This might be just a checkmate, because we're gonna attack the king with all we got. So yeah, let's see. Let me read the chat for a second. What do we have? So yeah. We have some questions. No, not yet. Okay. All right, let's think. What can we do next here? Bishop on f8. He is trying to defend from the mating threats by getting the knight on e6, but is it enough? Also, he plays so quick. In his case, I would think a little bit longer, because obviously, once you're getting checkmated, it's just too late to think. So, we have different ways of proceeding with a mating attack here. First, of course, we have the easy bishop on e7, attacking the rook. Then we can take on d6. It looks like a winning position. We have bishop takes g7, which is looking like a checkmate, but the question is it a checkmate? So king takes, we get the queen. King goes here, we get the queen. King goes to g8. And then we're gonna bring the rook here to the checkmate. I think it wins. I think it is winning, so we have this beautiful bishop takes g7, we have the easy queen on g5, knight on e6, just go queen g3. This is also looking like a winning position, but of course, in case we have a direct win, we are always going for the direct win. We are confident enough in our calculation that we say, alright, it's probably what I should do next. Let's double check for the last time if we are having a winning position. I think we do. So we will be going for the checkmate with the move bishop takes g7 because it looks beautiful. Is it necessary? No, it is not, but it is a beautiful way to eventually finish the game in case we are correct. So let's see. We have Bean Tempt. Welcome to the VHS crew. Welcome, Bean. Bean seems to be enjoying the streams, and Bean as well is getting better. For those of you who saw Bean playing, I think big improvement, and of course, this is excellent to see this kind of improvements. Good, Bean. Welcome. So, how do you like, by the way, the move bishop g7? Would you go for bishop g7, or would you go for a more simpler solution here? Let me know in the chat. What would you do? Would you give this kind of sacrifice? Sacrifice is never easy because, again, we have to be very, very precise in our calculation, and the idea is to play the rook e3 move. I think what a nice move, by the way. Quite a positional, but we have the direct threat, so it's like between positional and the direct threat. We still can go with the knight from f3 to g5 to h4. We're gonna choose next what we are going to play. So, how do you like this kind of play? Would you do the same, or would you say, alright, I don't need to risk, let me just win the game in a calm way, and that's enough. We have the move knight on e6, our opponent is defending, but there is knight h4 coming, all the white pieces are in the attack. Wow. Take a look at that, black queen on a5. In case you put the queen to squares like a5, be sure that you are not under mating attack, because queen up in the attack, so dangerous. Is there a way to defend here with the black pieces? Doesn't seem like that. There is rook on g3 coming next. There is knight on f5 coming next. Crazy attack. I Play Chess is saying we would be going for the sacrifice, but will not see the good construction. Maybe a couple of motives, I think, are pretty standard. I Play Chess, I think you would find a couple of motives here, because maybe not exact move order, but I think the ideas are pretty straightforward, because we just try to give a checkmate, so I think that is a very, very straightforward thing. Rook on e8, is it possible to survive in the current position? I think it is definitely not possible. So we can give a check and play knight f5, or we play knight f5 immediately. I think it makes no difference here because it is just a checkmate. Let's again think about knight f5 first, or rook on g3 first, king gets here, then knight on f5. We have this queen h8 checkmate coming next, or a queen on h6 checkmate. Is it making a difference where to move next? I don't think so. That's why maybe let's play the move knight on f5 first. We would like to checkmate now with knight h6. We have continuous threat by rook on g3. So it looks like this is going to be a decisive attack, and very early on, by the way, just move 22 on the board. So very, very early attack. So Lawrence is saying, nice membership, was it worth it? I'm not allowed to spend money on YouTube. Well, Lawrence, maybe you are too young to spend money at the moment on YouTube. But then probably you're not allowed to spend money in general. But that's alright, of course. When we are young, we should be careful. That's normal. So now we are giving this kind of checkmate here. By playing the move rook to g3, it is game over. Our opponent resigns. There is checkmate in the next move. Let's offer a rematch to our opponent because he also wanted a rematch, so it's fair. We are usually giving a chance for our opponents to be back. e4, e5, solid. Let's be solid. Knight on c6. Bishop on b5. And let's go with the move a6, so we have the Spanish. Knight on f6. The Spanish with the move d3. Let's go with the move bishop on c5 because there is no bishop takes c6, dc, knight takes. We have the queen on d4 attacking the knight and checkmate. c3 on the board. Everything is as usual. We will proceed with the move b5. So there are no big changes. Normal position. And bishop on c2, quite interesting because usually the bishop goes here first. Can we go with this very active d5 now? I think maybe. Let's go with a very active d5 because the bishop is not on b3. So I try to make use out of that. We can take with the knight and we can take with the queen. What should we do next? I think to take with a knight is looking normal. So let's go. Next, the bishop is getting to f5, which is a good square for the bishop. So short castle, obviously. Let's stay safe. All right. What do we have? There's a question by Gorilla. So what do you mean World Chess don't have a good anti-cheat? Because they're a small server. There are the big servers, so you have chess.com and Lichess, which is already suffering very much with the anti-cheating online, and the FIDE server, the arena server, is a way smaller server, so they're very small. That's why they don't have the measures, they don't have the experience, they don't have the capabilities of chess.com or Lichess. That's why the cheating on, let's say, FIDE Arena, of course, is more frequent than on chess.com or Lichess, but even on chess.com and Lichess, it's highly popular, so you have to be very cautious there in case you want to play a serious event, because it might just be not serious. Let's go with the move bishop on g4. So we have here the pin. I know there's h3, bishop h5, g4, bishop on g6. He's playing the move knight on d2. He plays so quick. Our opponent is so quick. If this is a good idea to be so quick. Sometimes yes, but sometimes not. Let's think. The knight might come here, but we have the rook e8, for example, right now, which is providing pretty safe position. Or should we go more active with ideas like f5, which is also an interesting play? Maybe let's go crazy with the move f5. Since there is no bishop on b3, so the knight is not under attack, we maybe can try to be very aggressive with the move f5. Let's see how it's gonna end. We will be trying to activate the rook here. The bishop on c5 is supporting the pressure on f2 square, so let's see. Might be interesting. Is there a variation in the Spanish where black pushes g5? No, there's no variation in the normal Spanish with the black g5. I think I have a chance to become GM because my FIDE is 1750 and I'm very young. To become GM is not easy. FIDE 1750 is not a GM level even close. So of course you should try, you should follow your dream, but you are just in the beginning. This is a very early stage. To become GM is hard. Lawrence is saying I'm gonna become GM in the next few months, few years. Well, let's hope, Lawrence, for you. Would be good news. Hey, Mr. Naiditsch, how would you train yourself, especially in the conversion part? played multiple games today. An absolutely horrific conversion by me from completely win to losing or draws. I think conversion is one of the most hard things in chess, because once you have a choice, you have to make up your mind. Choice is one of the most difficult things in chess as well, I think, similar to a life. That's why conversion, very hard topic. In general, how you might proceed with a conversion. Don't try to win the game immediately. This is step number one, because many players are trying to win instantly. This is a mistake. In case you're doing better, it means only that in theory you will get chances to win the game. It doesn't mean that you are automatically winning something. This is number one. As well, in case you have a much better position, it doesn't mean that you win the game by doesn't matter what you're gonna play. So it means that you have to continue playing very, very well. So once you are doing much better or winning, don't try to play the safest moves, or don't try to play like don't go the level down on your own play. Just continue doing what you've been doing before. And yeah, this is like difficult, but the biggest mistake is usually in conversion that a lot of people are starting to play completely different chess once they are winning. Continue with what you've been doing before, and you will be usually doing well. But again, this is not an easy topic, the conversion topic. So a very good question, and my advice is play exactly the same like you've been playing before you had a winning position. Don't think that now everything is easy and you might win the game, but it doesn't matter what you do. In case you're doing better or winning, it means that you have an option eventually to win the game. In case you don't take it, you're not gonna win the game. So don't get too easy in case you're doing much better. It's very, very important. Okay, let me see if we have the question. I remember hearing that nowadays in the candidates there is a lot of 20 or 30-minute think in one move because they're using computers too much. I don't think so. Again, this is not the issue. Sometimes players are thinking a long time because, first of all, they're trying maybe to compare two different lines that they know eventually, so they're not sure which line should I go for. This is number one. Number two is that sometimes a theory line is going into move 20, 25, so they have a lot of time on the clock. But in case we see positions that are more or less unknown, let's say on move 15, then we see players usually playing quite quick. So this is not very typical to think forever. On a high level, yes, this is happening, but I don't think there's a tendency towards thinking more now because of the computers. So I don't see it at least happening. Maybe there are some statistics about it, but my opinion, I don't see this happening. So there is a move c4. I wanted to get just the knight on b4 because I think the knight is pretty well placed here on b4. In case of c5, I think we can just take the pawn. We would like to play queen on g6 and e4, so there will be an explosion. Our opponent is playing the move c5. Wow. Is it working? Let's calculate now a little bit. So we're gonna take, the knight is gonna take. We have this in-between move. Take. We take on c2. And it is game over. Is it game over? Or do I miss eventually something here? I think I don't. So we will be taking on c5. Take a look at that. So this is pure tactics. Let's see if my calculation is correct. I would like to take first here. We can also take the knight on c5. Probably the idea of our opponent is to give me a check, and then we have this rook c1, which still leads, in my opinion, to a better position for black. But why not to take? Then in case of bishop b3, we have this bishop on d5. As well, we have this knight takes first, which is also looking not bad, because queen takes, we take. There's a check, but we go bishop d5, not dangerous. Knight on b7, queen on g6, not dangerous. So he has to take, and then we go knight on d4, attacking the queen, knight f3, is happening next? Looks like completely winning position. So, I think we have a couple of options, as we can see, but which option should we choose from? I like the option knight takes c2 because I think it's pretty forced. I don't see an escape for white after knight takes c2. It might be already game over. In case my calculation is correct, we will see if it is. A very interesting game. I think quite tactical, but it seems to work for white the current for black the current tactics. So as we've been calculating, we're taking now on f3, and we have this knight on d4 coming next. So powerful, knight on d4, knight in the center, knight on c5 is gonna fall, or we have queen on g6 idea. So it's like we're not risking much because we have two different ideas. In case we would have just one, then we have to be very precise with the two ideas that are leading to excellent position. I think we should be doing very safe. So we get the knight on d4, knight takes f3 is a deadly threat. Queen is under attack. In case the queen goes back, we can just take the knight on c5, I think. We can also play, by the way, the move queen on g6. Also looks like a winning position, but I think why not to take the knight? So we're just taking the knight on c5, and it looks like this position is much better for black. Next, we might be playing this rook f6, rook to g6. It is looking like the game should not last too long here. Let's play precisely. So we have queen d5, knight takes f3 idea, we have queen d6 and queen on g6 idea. Both is looking winning. What should we do here? I think we should play... I think queen d5. I like the move queen on d5 a little bit more because it's direct. So there's a threat of taking on f3. He is defending by playing the rook e3, but I think we have now knight here on e6, and we are catching the bishop on g5. The same we can do with the move h6 and just catching the bishop. So should I play h6 or should I play knight on e6? Is there a difference actually? I don't see the big difference, but I like my knight on d4. So there is this bishop e7 somewhere, but I think it is not helping much because we're gonna give a checkmate. We have to decide how to win the current game. In the easiest way, I think it is to play the move h6. Feels so safe, doesn't give any kind of counter chance to white now. Bishop goes here as we expected, and I think I'm gonna play just a simple move like rook on f7. So we're attacking the bishop. There is no way to take the pawn on c7 because we have rook e8, for example. Next we'll have this rook f6, and the rook is getting to g6. He tries to be tricky with the move rook c5. Of course, I completely missed this. I should not give him rook c5. What a miss by me. Terrible, but luckily we are still winning. So it's alright. We have queen d7, which wins the game, but I would like to give him a checkmate. Is there a checkmate? But what a miss by me, just in one move. Alright, luckily we are still doing well here. Queen on d7, so we'll be winning the game, but it was a big error, obviously. Luckily we have the move knight on c6 next, and we're winning the bishop, so we are fine. Now I will have to play way faster. I played too slow. I thought the game is basically over, and then I missed this rook on c5. Sometimes I'm missing tactics if I'm not cautious. So of course it is always better to be very cautious when you're playing chess. Chess is a brutal game. In case you miss one tactics, bam. Missing tactics, and boom, you're doing suddenly very bad instead of being completely winning. But still, we are completely winning, obviously, because we have the knight on d4, so this knight is giving us a winning position, but there's been no reason to give this kind of rook c5. It is not helping white, but what was the reason to give this chance? There's been obviously no reason for it. So I should have done something else. It would be way cleaner. Still, it is enough to win the game, but again, things like that should not be blundered. He's playing rook e5. What is the idea of this move? Rook on d5. Wow. But I think it is not working. Or it is. Is it working? This is crazy. He wants to play this, and how we get some material afterwards. This would be amazing if we don't win the current position. This would be insane. Okay, let's go with the move. Knight e6, I believe. This is looking like the bishop and the rook is under attack, but what a trick by the guy. By the way, I should have taken. Why I don't take it? I thought rook ed5, but we have queen e8 with win in one move. Terrible. Why I don't take the bishop? Wow. Missing everything in one move. This is terrible, of course, to miss in one move like that, because I could have won the game already. Now we can take here the bishop. And still, of course, we are completely winning, but I could have finished the game just immediately. And so now we get the queen on g6, and yes, it is a game over. Here, for white, piece up for black. We have the check coming here. Next, we're gonna put the rook just not to blunder something. And next, we're gonna take everything away from white, but I could have done it in a much easier way. So let's finish the game. How do we finish it? I think let's think. We still have little time left on the clock, so I think I should play this. And next, I think I should go with something like advancing. Okay, let's give a check. Let's play Knight of Fate, because I don't see a forced win, so we're gonna change a little bit, a couple of pieces, and position is a complete win, but the problem is that I played again so slow, so now it is like, yeah, pushing the button a little bit. The position of white is completely hopeless here. Zero chance to save a game like that, but again, we are playing a little bit too slow. Let's hope that I will be fast enough. All we need to do is to get the knight on e6, queen on d5, and it is resignation, because there is never a perpetual check when we have the knight like that. So it is a very, very... Oh, he takes. Wow. Now we get just the king here, and he resigns. Okay. That's it. We should be fast enough to win the game, but yeah. I made it, of course, extra difficult, which I should not have done. Okay, we have a lot of time. We have a lot of time here. So yeah. This game we can win, because we have a lot of time to mate our guy, having two queens on the board. So overall, we managed to win a completely winning position with some adventures. But alright, sometimes adventures are not so bad. The adventures are reminding you that yes, in chess we have to focus. We have to focus in case we would like to achieve good results. Without focus, chess is not working. All right, let's go with the next game, and during the next game we will be choosing who will be our daily viewer game, of course, in case you're available here. So yeah, let's see. First, who we are going to play next during the game. We will be choosing who to play next, and of course, like and subscribe in case you're enjoying my comments for the moment. I see only 94 likes, very, very little. What is happening to the likes? Normally we have more of the likes, but okay. Push the like button a little bit harder in case you're enjoying our games, our educational chess content, and of course, thank you very much for that, for staying with us. Next we have knight of 3 g3, because I played e4 in the last couple of games. Let's play this kind of Reti or King's Indian reversed. For those of you who are playing this system, I hope you are enjoying it, because it is a very nice system to play with white, very easy system. Let's say there are many people who are playing the London. I believe this is just much better, because we always do the same. It's easy to play, and the London is actually an opening which is much harder to play for white. There are so many tricky lines in the London system where white might just be worse. In the current position, white is so safe, you cannot get worse. So I don't know why people are choosing to play the London instead of this. Maybe because of the promotion of the London system, of the advertisement everywhere. Play the London, easy for amateurs, good for amateurs, but of course it is not the truth. London is not bad for amateurs, but it is not like ultimate weapon. Not even close. So Bean is saying, I recently stopped playing the London. I was making it too difficult for myself by doing so. Yeah, London is not an easy system to play. I agree with Bean. Queen on b3. Let's see what is going our opponent to do against queen takes on b7. So, attack. Maybe queen on b6 is the normal play. We have the bishop on h5. In theory, the bishop, of course, on h5 is doing better than the bishop on c8. But on the other hand, we might play this g4 somewhere, knight h4, and get the bishop, so we have the bishop pair. So c5, this is the idea. We are forcing the guy basically to take on b3, and then we're gonna play the endgame. This endgame is normal for black, so it's not a bad endgame for black, but it's well for white. It is quite a nice endgame. The next game against our VChess family is number 1. Is Gorilla 666. You are here or no? Gorilla, please write. In case you are here, please tell us what is your account name on chess.com, and after the game is done, please challenge me in a 10-minute rapid game. Let's see if Gorilla 666 is here with us. In case Gorilla is not here with us, then the next is going to be PUBG. Queen on a6, not changing the queens, very unusual. So let's go with the move knight on c3. Now the queen is a little bit trapped here. On a6, is it a good way to put the queen on a6? I am not sure. Queen is not doing perfectly there. The lady is hiding on the edge of the board. Not sure if this is the way to play the current positions, because queen is not doing well. Maybe the idea is to play the move b6. Yes, this is making sense, but question is black in time to consolidate here? Because white will get very, very aggressive now. We are usually taking on b6, so now we can expect a b. I'm surprised that my opponent is taking his time, because in case you play b6, you take a b almost instantly. Otherwise, what was the point of the move b6? So he takes, but he takes his time, which is weird. Now we go with a very aggressive knight on e5. Why we do that? We do that because still there is no short castle for black, so we try to do something in the center. So we try to crush the center as fast as we can. And of course, let's see what is going to happen next. Position is very dynamic. I like to play this kind of positions with the white pieces, because I believe to play with a king on e8 is usually difficult. What do we have in the chat? Just a second, let me play first couple of moves, and then I will be checking the chat. Should we go e4 immediately or g4 and then e4? I don't know, both is looking possible, so we have to take a decision. I don't know. We can do also g4, f4, f5 is looking very interesting. So e4 or g4 immediately. This is the question. I like to play the move e4 maybe first because the bishop is completely out of the game. I do see the option d4 available, but then I'm gonna play the move g4. So I would like to get very, very aggressive here with the white pieces because the king on e8 is still not near to have the castle. Castle is so important for black. Position is quite dynamic. Let's see what is going to happen next. Our opponent is playing for the moment a very good game, but he plays in a little bit strange style that he always takes some particular amount of time per move. This is weird. To play b6 was a good idea, but then he's thinking about taking on b6 because why to play b6 in case you don't take ab? So usually we see this kind of moves being played quicker. But alright, let's see what happens next. So what do we have in the chat? Sorry if I have missed something. Knight takes e5. Oof, this is not a good play because now look at that. This is just not a good play. The king on e8 is going to be under attack from all the sides to play knight e5. This is a very, very bad idea. You should never open the e file. And I think now we have a winning continuation here for white. I will be pushing the F button because we can win the game. Boom. So you can think for yourself, what would you do here? And also we have a lot of time on the clock, so I can give you the time. We're not afraid at the moment to lose on time. White to play. We have a beautiful move, I think, that leads to almost a winning position for white. Yes, we have different options, but I think there is one option that I like so much here. White to play. We can get a mating attack. What would you do here with the white pieces? And of course, let me know if we have Gorilla666 in the chat. I think not. I haven't seen the message from Gorilla. The second was PUBG. PUBG also, I think. PUBG was writing something, or no? PUBG also not with us. The third on our list is Etiniak Payang 55. Let us know if you are here. In case yes, please write your account name and challenge me after the current game. The next move by white is, we have different options, of course. We have the option g4, we have the option rook e1, but all of these options are leading to one key idea, and it is to play knight takes d5. Look at that. So beautiful. Knight takes d5. We are sacrificing the knight, but we are opening all the position of black. King is remaining on e8. So, in case pawn takes, we will be taking here with the queen, attacking the rook on e8, attacking the knight on e5. To hold position like this is not possible. So, white is basically almost winning because black took the pawn on e5. This was not a smart decision before. Our opponent played a great game, but here the knight takes d5 is not the best. So let's see. What do we have here? We have also Forest with us. I think I promised one day to play against Forest, against you. Forest, by the way, are you here? Let me know, Forest, if you are here, because the other three are not already watching us any longer. So please, Forest 296. Let me know if you are here. We will be playing the next game, in case, of course, you would like to play the next game. Rook on c8. Our opponent is moving away from all this pressure and is avoiding the move knight on c7. Check it is making sense, but we can continue playing very actively by developing here with a move bishop on f4, which is making sense. We can also just go away, knight f4 first, and then see what happens later. But usually when we are pushing so hard, we are not moving back, so we move only forward. Let's go. We are developing our pieces. Bishop on f4. We can somewhere take the pawn on b6, very obviously, but let's get first the bishop to f4. We can also get this knight, rook on e1 next, which is also looking almost deadly. We can take on b6. Looks also not so bad to take a pawn. By my feeling, I like to get all my pieces first into the game, so I will be playing the move rook e1. I like when pieces are in the game. This is some kind of thing that I learned over the years. It's better to be safe and get the pieces into the game. Welcome, Max. Max is becoming our VChess supporter. Welcome, Max. To the VChess family. Max already for a while with us. Excellent member here in our VChess community. So because the other who've been mentioned somehow are not appearing or not answering, maybe too shy. We have also sometimes here people who are too shy to play a chess game, so they quickly disappeared. Once Hadi BM also did it with us. Hadi was too shy to play the game. So Max, in case you like, let's play the next game, and I think we are currently finishing our game with a beautiful attack. And this beautiful attack is going to be knight takes f6. Look at the sacrifice. Boom. We are taking on f6. Next, we are taking on e6. Boom. Max wants to have the game. Alright, Max, please tell us your account name, and after the game is done, please challenge me. 10-minute game, 10-minute rapid game against Max. Bishop on e7, and we have to think how to deliver a checkmate to the black king here on e8. The easy way is just to take. So there's maybe bishop f7 coming next, but this position must be a win. We are attacking the black king with all we have. There is also rook takes e5, takes. We can take, for example, with the queen. Attacking. This is a completely winning position. We have also bishop c6, but then the guy is gonna give me the rook. So what is the most easy way of winning here? I think just to take on e5. It looks like a completely winning position. So Max is Alexander Burkhardt. Alright, welcome Alexander to our stream. Next you will be playing 10-minute game once I am done here. How we can win the current position. Rook takes e5 or queen takes e5. I think it makes no real difference, to be honest, because it is a game over. So maybe let's strike with a rook on e5. We have here the bishop hanging on e7. We have the bishop hanging on h5. We have the bishop on c6 continuation, which is available. It is a game over. So, the community in the chat, please support Max. Max is gonna have to fight the next game. Yes, the game is over. Our opponent is resigning. We are winning the current game, and the next game is against Max. Alright, Max, please challenge me for a 10-minute game. And let's go, let's go, let's go. How can I challenge you? Oh, Max. Okay, till you are figuring out how to challenge me, I will make a little promotion of the VChess. So, for those of you who are watching now live, I'm playing, I'm commenting, we're trying to get better at some ideas, some concepts, end games, middle games, etc. I think you would also like to join our section of the shorts. We have an excellent shorts section, end games, check it out. There are cool ideas, and as well, we have a very nice app on the market for Android and Apple devices. Check the app. It is looking like a kids app, but actually it is not. It is a full app. Doesn't matter how strong you are. It begins at very easy levels, and then we are growing level by level. So Max is struggling for the moment with a challenge. We have a nice comment in the section. Thank you very much for all the nice comments. Of course, it's great to hear. In case you are enjoying our streams here, Max is not yet figuring out how to make the challenge. So let's wait a little bit for Max. I think Max should be able to challenge us. No problem, Max. There is no rush at all. Just take your time. I think in case you search for Captain James, that's me. And then just challenge. Rapid game. What is the name of the app? The name of the app is VChess, exactly like the channel here. So VChess, try the app. It is for the full family fun. I would advise you to get the app on the TV. This is very nice on TV because it's all bigger. You can play with your kids, with your friends. Very nice, and it begins at very easy levels, and then it is getting stronger and stronger. All right. I see HDBM and Bean are helping Max to get the challenge done. Sometimes when there is no frequent usage of some particular things, not so easy to figure out how actually to challenge someone or to block someone. The last stream I also didn't know exactly how to block a guy who blocked me. Now I see the request. Excellent, let's go. Max is here, so let's go with the next game. I'm white, Max is black. Let's start with the move d4. Max, of course, turn off the sound, play for yourself, enjoy the game. And we want to see some support in the chat for Max. So d4 c6 looks like to be a pre-move c6. c4, let's go. d5, knight on f3, so we have Slav defense on the board. Max is choosing the line with knight on f6 against Slav, and I will be choosing the line with e3. Very solid line. Bishop on g4 as well, one of the main continuations. Let's go with the move a3. Less popular, but quite interesting. Now Max has to decide, go back or to take the knight. Take the knight, alright. Now we have the bishop pair, so the idea of here for white is to be like super slightly better, and for black just to be solid and hoping to be alright. Both have their ideas. Let's try. Should we play some more rare line or more common play? Okay, let's go with a common play. First to play the move knight on c3 is normal. We get the knight out. Sorry. Also, bishop b4 is very normal. We're getting bishop on d2 next. We try to have this bishop pair position, which might be slightly better for white, but again, it is not much, it is slightly. First, we play the move a3 to ask Max, do you like to take? No, Max doesn't like to take. Good move, by the way. Bishop on a5, the bishop is getting to c7. For the moment, excellent game by our VChess family member. So, bishop on d3. I try as well to get the pieces out. This is what white is usually doing here. And next we can think about playing g4 to be more aggressive, or to play short castle and to aim for this kind of very little better for white. Knight on d7, good play. There's e5 eventually coming somewhere. I have to be now cautious with white not to allow the move e5 to happen. So I think I will play the move b4 first, because I want the bishop to go back. And now we have this interesting g4 possibility. I think there is the move e5, but then we're gonna take twice on the e5, so this might be better. Or we have the more strategic short castle, and then we play this kind of step-by-step position. I like short castle first, because with the king on e1 doesn't feel so well. We have a little bit of more space here. Position is still in the area of slightly better for white or equal, something like this. Black is also rock solid with everything so safe in the center. Rook e8, good move, preparation eventually to play e5 somewhere. Now it's time for white maybe to push the move e4. Time has came, or not yet? Maybe actually not yet. So let's play the positional rook on d1. We're getting stronger here on the file, because there is an idea of e5. So I know what black wants, and I put the rook against here the queen on d8. So looks like a very positional game. Idea e4, maybe b5, maybe c5. C5 is dangerous because of this e5. So I have to see what happens next. Somewhere I would like to play this g4, because then the bishop over f1 can get to g2. This would be excellent to have the bishop on g2. Knight on b6, provoking me into playing the move c5. Probably the idea is to go back afterwards. Not bad, not bad. Good play by black. So is it time for me to push the move c5 and then e4, because I can also go e4 immediately. Then probably the knight is gonna take here. I'm gonna take and play the move bishop g5. Very interesting position. What should we do here? Immediately c5 followed by the move e4, or we should be more cautious. I think c5 is looking like the right answer, because it feels so good to get the pawn on c5 and now to play the move e4. We are advancing. We are having this kind of more space, but still black is doing very normal. I think for black to take is a must. And probably to take is a must as well. We'll be taking with the bishop. We have this idea b5 coming next. So black is a little bit squeezed. But on the other hand, black is doing very safe here. So not much is going on currently. Ooh, Knight of 8. This is not the best. Not the best. Max should have taken on e4, because now this kind of squeezed position is too much squeezed. To play like this is very dangerous for black. Yes, it is still a positional game, but where to go now with a knight? Knight on d7 is almost forced, and soon there will be no moves left. Black had to take on e4, as this was the only way to play. This is looking now very dangerous for black. Don't make this mistake in your games, because you are getting squeezed. The center of white is too strong. There is only one way to open it, and it is to play the move f6. And I'm getting ready to play the move f4. That's why you see the move queen on g3. So knight on g6. I am playing the move f4. And this structure is very dangerous for black, because what is your next move? And white is capable of playing on the king side as well on the queen side. So this kind of defense is very difficult for black in most of the cases. Now the move f5 is making sense. Black is trying to close everything. I believe I can just take on f6, because I would like to open the position a little bit. Next we have the option maybe to take on g6, or probably the queen is going to take on f6. We will be playing knight on e2. So we keep everything protected. Bishop here, beautiful. On e6, a long-term weakness. So I will be bringing back my rook to f1 just to be safe, and even if black gets somehow the knight on f5, I will have the option of playing the move g4. So it is getting very, very difficult to play here for black pieces in a long run. So first, I am defending the pawn on f4 just in case. Is it a must? No, but it is a can. Queen gets to h4. Not a bad idea by Max. He tries to get into the endgame, but I think now we have already a little tactic on the board. So I'm pushing the F button. This is always what we do when there is a tactic here. So boom, white to play. What could be the tactic? I give you a little bit of time to think about it. 30 seconds, write it down in the chat. What would you play next with white? We have a little tactic here on the board to get eventually a better play, but I don't know if actually we should do this tactic because it is not a must play. We could just do something normal and be better, but I think little tactic, we can use it. So it's time to play the little tactic, and it is to play bishop takes g6. For those of you who saw it, excellent. It means you are already doing very well. In case you see little tactics like that, good, excellent. All in all, a good play by Max. Max is a very positional player. This we can see immediately by the moves he is doing. But Max did not take on e4, and now he was getting squeezed. So in case white is playing e4, to take on e4 was a must. To have this queen h4 missing this little tactics, well, this can happen because this tactic is not so easy and quite unusual. So you're not like really thinking about it. This kind of blunder is not a very serious mistake because this happens to everyone. To miss this kind of things is pretty normal. So yeah, next we should try to be active, I think, here on the e file because the e6 pawn is remaining under pressure. Rook on e8, very normal play. In case I go back with a knight, the black knight wants to get to e4, so we should not allow that to happen. I think we can go rook on f3, looks very solid. I would like maybe to double, maybe not to double. I have the move f5, maybe. I'm gonna play it, maybe not. So again, we are keeping all the options open. In best case, we would like to change the knights, obviously, because this would not give any kind of counter chances to black. Let's see if I'm able to do that. Maybe even to play knight on e2, knight on f6, knight on c3 is making sense, not to allow this knight e4 to happen. But before that, maybe we are able to play something else. So let's see. Let's see how the game is going to develop. Our plan is obvious. b6. Good move again by Max. He's trying to play this b takes. To change a couple of pawns is a good idea, definitely, because otherwise how to get any kind of counterplay. So I think, what should we do here next with white? I think maybe we should just play this knight on e2. I like to get the knight to some decent square. Yes, I see that there's knight f6 coming, but we should get the knight away from g3. Knight is not so well positioned there. And we have this knight on c3 idea. Next, just to be safe. Maybe first, actually, we can play something else. Maybe first g3, because in case knight gets here, we have the knight on c3 idea. So why not to play first the move g3? There is knight e4, g5, but g5 is not so dangerous. So maybe first bishop c1 even. Let's play very positionally. We are waiting for the knight to get here, and then we have this knight on c3. To change the knights would be excellent for white in the current position. But we have to say that Max is playing a very, very good game. He is fighting like a lion, except this d takes e4 in the opening. The rest, great game by Max. Position of white is better. a5, also good play to change everything there. Very strong play. Very, very strong play by Max, and slowly I have to do something because I'm getting the feeling that we're doing like nothing with the white pieces. So it's time to do something. What can we do here? Maybe it's time to take and get the rook on c3, attacking the pawn on c6. So let's play. I will be taking, then let's try to get the pawn on c6. It's time to play a little bit more aggressive, I believe. Let's get the rook here. So the pawn c6 is under attack, and now we will be pushing against both pawns. I have this stupid bishop on c1, so I should try to get bishop to the beta square, maybe just e3, and then to switch to the c file. But position is still fighting. I mean, white is doing better, but Max is playing an excellent game. So now we get the bishop to e3, very, very solid, and we switch. Let's see, let's see. Rook a8 makes sense. But Max is playing incredibly strong. How is it possible to play so good? Let's go with the move knight on c3. I think so. Let's try to change something. Because knight a4 is coming next, but Max is playing unbelievably good game. We have to admit that. White is doing better, but Max is fighting like a lion. Finally, we managed to change the knight. What a relief. What a relief that the knight is gone. We will be pushing against the pawn on e6 next, and it should be a very good position for white. So just let us defend first the pawn on b4, maybe rook on b1. Just defend the pawn, because now we are attacking the pawn on c6. So the rook cannot be moved, and the bishop on b6, it is a good bishop, but the bishop has no squares. So it's like a good bishop and a bad bishop simultaneously. The next idea by white is to get the king here into the game. So slowly, we are improving our position. King gets closer to the center. King on g6. Good play, good play. Let's get the king to f3. And we will be playing the move rook c1 in a good moment. We have to choose when to play the move rook c1. We can still advance a little bit with the move g4 in case we need the move g4. So, is it time? No, not yet, I think. Let's go with the move g4 just to advance a little bit. Maybe next h4. Black is keeping the position very safe, so we go with the move h4. I don't know why I need the move h4, but it's probably not so bad to have the move h4 on the board. Bishop f2 defending the pawn on h4, so again we are doing very, very safe. We are getting ready for the final push, and the final push is gonna be the move rook on c1. In case I can get the move rook on c1 played. Oh, king e7, king on d6. Good idea again by Max, but now we will be controlling the a file, so this is important. Next, rook on a6, and then bishop on g3. Step by step, we are somehow managing to overtake the game, but Max is playing an excellent game. Very good play. We have here the pressure. b5 is coming next, and it's gonna be too much pressure now to handle. But what a defense by Max. Very impressive, yeah. Very, very impressive game. What else can I say? Great defense. Not easy, of course, to make a draw being a pawn down, but very, very good play. Bishop on b8, now we are capable just winning here. The pawn on c6, and yes, with the pawn, the position of black is falling apart. 2 pawns down is just a couple of pawns too many. I think we can just go away here to a6 because there will be some checks coming, or eventually we can pin here. Next, bishop on g3, probably the safest. We are getting ready to play the move f5 in case we need it, or to play the move h5. Next, rook on c8. Good fight by Max. I think we can win the game with a little bit of playing combination here by playing rook on c6, because to take is, I think, a lost by force. So we're playing this rook on c6, not allowing, and let's calculate. Take. How to hold the pawn. King here, h6, not holding. There is only the move bishop here. We play h6, attack, we play there, bishop g7, and we play king here or f5 in between, winning the game. We can also play, of course, the move f5, which is as well finishing the game. So we can choose to play this or that. I like the move f5 immediately because it looks like it is not giving any kind of chances to black. Bishop is under attack, so we can see that bishop a7, we can simply take and promote the pawns. In case there is a pawn endgame, it is a complete win. Now we can take and win the game, and we can play bishop e5 and win the game. This looks more beautiful. So we're blocking the bishop and we are winning the game. Great fight. Very good fight by Max. So was nice game, Max. Very good. I think the biggest mistake you have did is to play here a knight f8, because it was a very good game till here. Everything as usual, very normal. Max, most welcome. You played a great game. I think you should have taken on e4. This was, of course, a mistake, because you should change the pieces. And why you should change the pieces? Because in case you're getting squeezed and you're having no space, always change the pieces, and then you have to see what happens next. So in your case, I would just take, and maybe I should take with the queen, knight f6, and maybe queen e3. So positions like that, I think maybe a little bit better for white, maybe just equal. Maybe I should play queen h4. This is better, of course, than to put the queen on e3. But still, these positions are super little better for white. Nothing more than that. You will get the knight on d5 slowly. I will be having the bishop pair, a little bit more space. I will be trying to play the move b5. Very normal game. The game has just begun, and this is usually the play for black. So after you have no space, it's getting very difficult to play this game. f5, good move, but anyway, it feels like a very difficult position because you're getting squeezed. And queen h4 is blundering the pawn, but maybe it's already difficult to suggest something else, because long run, it's not a must to take on g6. I can do like move queen h2, for example, or I can play queen g4. All of these positions are so difficult to play for black because there is no counter. There is no counterplay for black, which makes it just so hard, because e6 is under attack. So let's say black takes. Next move is g3. Then I will be pushing here on the e file. And what is the play for black? There is only e4 square. So in theory, there is nothing better than knight f6, knight e4, because I'm gonna take it and most probably later collect the pawn on e4. These positions are so unpleasant. So Max, he decided to give the pawn, and yes, it is looking like a much better position for white, but still black is playing. I think I should have done here something else. I played not great. Rook f3, not the best. I don't like the move that I did. Rook on f3 looks logical, but I should have played something else by the feeling. Maybe just knight h1, because the idea is knight f6. We get this knight on f2, next g3. Connecting everything, king on g2, and this should be much better. Rook f3 looks logical what I did, but b6 very strong. So black is getting a little bit of counter, and now suddenly it's not so easy. White is still doing better, but it is not so easy. I thought in this position knight on d6 was one of the best tries for black, because the knight is getting to c4. So to change the knight is going to be not so easy now after knight on d6. Yes, white is doing still better, but it's a huge fight here. The game is by far not over, so after changing knights, it's very difficult here for black, because the rook has to defend the pawn, and slowly I will be advancing. This is what we saw in the game. And then you have to keep the c6 pawn alive. We have to protect against this idea, protect against this idea of f5. Too many ideas simultaneously. And yeah, this is like a win already. So good game, very good defense. Max is a great defender, Usually we see here more attackers than defenders, which is very common, but Max is a defender, yeah. Very, very good defender. Alright, alright. I hope you enjoyed the game that we had now against Max, and in general you enjoyed my stream. Obviously, like and subscribe in case you do. Tell your friends. We have here a new educational chess channel. We are focused on having great people in the chat, of building great chess community that is a little bit higher level than most of the chess communities. Let's say it softly. This is our target, to have good people over a long period of time, to do good chess projects, to have chess content that is based on more statistics and less feelings. Let's say it softly once again. So thank you very much for being here with us on VChess. For today's stream, that's it. I will be back in the evening. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the evening. Otherwise, thanks. As we say on VChess, one smart move at a time. This is all you need to do to become a great chess player, and I think to be successful in life. Again, thank you very much. Hope to see you in the evening. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great Monday.